Hi, I'm Mary Robinson Reynolds, and I'm the author of Connecting with Colors. Discover the transformational synergy of personality styles to create harmonious relationships in work, home, and everywhere. I'm also the creator of Connecting with Colors, 30 Seconds to Synergizing Your Life in every area with every relationship. Now, here we are going into the next video, and I want to cover in this video what might have been happening for you as I was going through the different descriptions of the color personality styles in the first video. You might have started to realize that you were feeling like you were more than one color, and the chances are, yes, you are. And as I traveled across the country, and I've said this I know many times, but just to reiterate, 20,000 people in a 2-year period, that's a lot of people. I made a lot of discoveries. This is field-tested material. And these discoveries that I made came directly from the things that they were telling me and that I was discovering in my own personal life. So if you've ever felt like, you have like two voices in your head, it's not a bad thing. It's that it's your secondary color coming into play when you're in situations that need or require maybe a softer touch or a stronger touch. It just kind of depends on what's going on. And so today, we're going to take a look at the 4 different color styles as the different hats that we put on. The other thing I found out is that as we leave home to go to work in the morning, we may put on a different hat. As we come home in the evening, we can change hats. If we've got kids, we can change hats. So the other thing I discovered in working with a very large number of people is that many people, especially women, will put on different hats. Well, what this does is it makes us feel like maybe there's something wrong with us, and there's not. There's nothing wrong with this at all, that a little behavior modification and alignment of our more than one personality style can really empower us and take us into more of our greatness. So really, this is a very good thing. We just have to learn more about it. Right now, we have a skill set understanding about personality styles that looks kind of like this. We're going to expand it today. So what I'd like to do is read directly from my Synergize Your Life program about how this can play out. Now, I've developed personality style assessments in 7 different life areas because of what I was discovering. So not only do I have a test that you take to find out how you're thinking and how you're showing up per situation, per life area, but you will also get a report from my individualized PSAs, personality style assessments, telling you what you scored in each color style. Now, I want to just tell you right now that on the free color style test, you do not get this report. You just get your predominant style. So I want you up and running right away. But if you want to investigate further, that's why I've developed these individualized personality style test reports, okay? So now from my program, my Connecting with Color Styles program, Synergize Your Life, I've covered color combos. And so let's say you took an individualized personality style assessment. And here's just an example of your scores. So let's say that you had scored 8 as a red, you scored blue as a 4, green your score was 2, and your yellow score was 6. So how you would interpret this is this. The primary color is red because your score was 8, and your secondary color is yellow because your score was 6. So you would say red-yellow. I'm a red-yellow. There's not much going on in the green or the blue areas with these scores, so think about what this means. This person has a director style who is focused on winning results and is great at delegating. That's the red. So he or she can get out there and play and relax and have some fun as soon as possible, and that would be the yellow speaking there. Important to note here that what can be confusing to others about the red-yellow is that 1 minute the red-yellow may be off-putting to others, speaking harshly or directly in your face with commands about how you should be getting things done right here, right now, because red-yellow is totally focused on getting those results yesterday. However, in the next moment, the yellow can take over and is really fun, charismatic, engaging, making everyone around them feel as though there's all the time in the world. So what you need to remember here is this, that the more intense the situation, the more red you will become and the more intense you will be about time schedules and the need to get things done. If your color combo is reversed and you are a yellow-red, it just means that you're more intense the situation, the more yellow you will more likely become, and you will try to lighten things up by popping off funny one-liners and exhibiting your delightful off-the-cuff wit. About your secondary colors, everyone has a certain percentage of every color, and you will see some of this of yourself in every description. In regard to your second highest color, keep in mind that as you are reading through the descriptions of each color, that your second highest color may also be involved in the conversations right along with your primary color. When you see the description of your predominant color, but think, well, I also seem to be doing it this other way, then that's your secondary color. Okay, it's coming into the conversation. All right, so what I want you to understand today is two things. One is that that secondary color can come up through and make you feel like you've got two things going on at the same time. Now, if you don't use a little behavioral modification on yourself and get your two colors talking together, it's called let's make a deal. That's my technique. So when I've got two parts of me going in opposite directions or wanting that, and I'm feeling de-energized by it, I'm feeling stressed by it, I'm starting to worry, I can't make a decision, that just means I got to get these two people lined up here, these two personality styles lined up. So it's called let's make a deal. So if it's a red leading, I am going to make a deal with the yellow. We will play later. Let's get the job done now, and then let's go play. If the situation doesn't have a timeline, and there's more time for creative unfoldment, then the yellow gets to make the deal, and the yellow will say, hey, I need to get creative, and that means I got to go out and have some fun and get my mind off this so that my creative juices will start functioning. And so we're going to do that first, and then it's going to get done. Okay, we've got lots of time, and so the red says, okay, I'm along for the ride, let's go. And that's the kind of conversations that need to be occurring. But that's not, what we've been doing, but with a little bit of knowledge, we can correct that. We can self-correct, use a little behavior modification, and we're on our way. The other piece of this, why this is so important, is because people who are observing you while this is going on, you can lose credibility. People can accuse you of being a Dr. Jekyll and Miss Hyde. They can accuse you of being wishy-washy because that's how you're coming across. If you're not getting yourself into alignment, if you're not getting your deal made, and you're going one extreme to the other, to other people, that doesn't look like they can trust you or that you're going to be as competent at what they want you to be doing. So understand, it's not just you that's impacted by what's going on. Other people are making observations too, and you want to have people have confidence in you, but first it starts with you. Have confidence in yourself. Now, I mentioned that we show up, put on different hats based on our different 7 life areas. Well, those 7 life areas, what you would discover in the individual test results is you get this individualized report that's going to show you your scores. And then it's going to take you through exactly how you need to work with people and see people in each of the color styles. So how it would work out in work. So there's some areas of time constraints, figuring out solutions, how to work well with other people. That's all covered in the work. And then once you get home, there's people who say they're going to do things and then they don't do it. Well, that's a color style issue. And if that irritates your color style, you want to know how to approach them in a way that aligns you and or synergizes you with their color style. And it doesn't matter what age, This works with everybody of every age. The next is we have love, sex, and money, because this is one of the areas of our lives where a lot of conflict can come out because we see things differently. We get our feelings hurt. We manage things differently. But when you understand the values, what's important to the people that you love in your life, your mates, your spouse, your significant other, then you can start treating them in the way that they value. And, it just makes for sweet synergy. That's all I can say. The next area would be your leading and managing. And so you may not have the title of manager, but if you're a woman, you're managing and leading every area of your life. So let's just own that, okay? But if you are a manager, if that is your job description, then you already know that listening to other people's problems and dealing with them effectively can be very difficult, especially with people who are not your color style. So again, I take you through. This is individualized to you, and then it's prescriptive to you what you need to look at per color style and the approach that's going to work to synergize every relationship. And then we've got sales, of course. For people that are in sales, if you're having a hard time closing people, it's a color style issue. Your product can be great, your service can be great, but if you're talking in your style, they're hearing from their style, and there's no alignment, there's no connection, and that connection is key. Now, let's say that you're not in sales, but you're a person who needs to sell their ideas. Again, this is pretty important stuff. It's a great, I've covered it all. You're going to be able to start dialing in other people's color styles. Now, here's the thing that I want to say is that, what I'm teaching is going to feel counterintuitive to you initially, but that's because your color style is intuitive to you. It's what you know. But as you start getting your mind around what other people need from you to communicate to them, the more you work with it, the more you practice it, the more it will become second nature to you, all right? And then another life area is parenting and or teaching. So adults working with kids or living with kids. And so you have certain perceptions based on your color style, certain understanding about what children should and should not be able to do. And from your color style, if it's with the same color style, you're okay. But, these frustrations that you're having with certain kids, with how they're operating, it's color style, and it's also learning style. It's all put together here for you. Again, per adult color style and per student or child color style. I've laid it all out. And then last but not least, we've got our tweens and teens. And I've designed this with them in mind. And it's designed for them to understand what's going on for them. They don't have to take stuff so personally anymore. It's empowering. I'm going to give them tools on what to do with their peers or their siblings or with their teachers, how they can synergize the situation and not beat themselves up and make themselves wrong and go through that horrible social emotional angst that we've all gotten to live through, and some of us are still doing it today. So what I want you to understand is that there's more than one variable to this, and the more information you take in the way that I'm presenting it, the more you'll get your mind around it. And you go out in life and you're going to see these situations unfold, and you're going to know exactly what to do per color style, how to dial that in, how to dial in what they need. So the more you know, the better you're going to do out there. All right. The coolest thing about these individualized reports is I was giving a facilitator training for connecting with colors, and all of my facilitators were making new discoveries about themselves that they did not know before they started venturing into the different life areas. But here's the thing, one of them, she's a yellow, and she is just as yellow as she can be, and she loves going out and making people happy in her community. She she's so good at that. And she couldn't figure out why at home her kids just always treated her like she wasn't fun at all. Well, here's the thing. She took the work personality style assessment, PSA, and then she took the parenting personality style assessment. And what she discovered is that at home, she was a red. So as a parent, she was a red. And she said, I should have known. The clue was all around me. I use a bullhorn around the house to call the kids to come down for meals. And I take the bullhorn in the car so that they get in the car from school faster. And they see me differently than how I've been seeing myself. So she understood that how she was operating at home. And so she's going to probably dial in different colors and be more of how she wants to be on the home front based on what she learned out of this. And so this was really insightful for her. It again shifted her up. Her energy went up with new understanding. She was able to look at it differently. She had been taking it kind of personally, just couldn't figure out why her kids weren't having fun with her. So boom, we're right out of suffering, right into proactive. She can make solutions. She can do whatever she wants to do with this now, with this new understanding. So I hope it gives you some insight. I hope you'll go out and check out some of these personality style assessments in these 7 different life areas. At the very least, get out there, find out what your predominant color style is, and start seeing the world from new eyes, new understanding. And you will synergize every relationship in your life with just this simple understanding. So thank you. And thank you again for the difference that I know you're going to be making with this information.